Okay, folks, given the COVID situation and all of that attached to it and all of the issues that are accruing to you poor students, I thought I'd make this very quick little movie, hopefully quick, to give you some heads up for those people that are still not quite sure on what's going on as far as the assessment task 1 for EAD111. So hopefully you've all been able to find out where the assessment tasks are in the cloud, and you've gone and you've had a look and you've clicked on the options that are available to you. When you click on the, I'm just going to shift myself around a little bit here, my picture up here. Yep. When you click on the task, there are a couple of things to notice in particular. One, that it's worth 20%. Okay, so it's fairly significant. Two, that it's got to comprise approximately 800 words. Now, approximately means generally at university 10% over, 10% under. So you can give me 720 words and that's going to fit in. Don't give me 700, that's a bit short. At the other end, don't give, you can go up to about 80, but if you give me 1500 words, I'm not going to be very happy. So please, keep that in mind. I'll probably read up to the 880 words and the rest of them I'll just forget. No, it won't be quite like that, but you really do need to keep within the limits there. So 800 plus or minus 10%. Notice that it's due in. When it's due in, 11:30 on the Friday. I generally like to have a check on the Saturday morning just to find out who has and who hasn't. Okay, and hopefully you know how to submit via the assignments folder. If you're not certain yet, you should have done it at 110, I'm sure. But if you're not certain still, please let me know. Now, really, really important that you read the aim, because that sets out quite clearly. Now, the aim there matches up pretty much with the thing down the bottom, which is the assessment criteria. So this is what we are going to be looking for when we assess your work, each of these dot points down here. So they're really important that you make sure that you address them, but they're also written in here. So one of the things that you've got to do is demonstrate you can successfully use a range of search engines and databases. Now, in your particular case, it's spelled out here in point number 4, Google Scholar, and journal database accessible from the library catalogue such as EBSCOhost. So when you go searching through the library, you are searching EBSCOhost. So really, really important. You use each of those ones. You've got 3 to choose from, and you've got to use one double up. Can I suggest to you very strongly that you make certain your double up is the library catalogue. Even though searching through Google is really, really easy, it's better. You're not going to use Google much more after you've done this assessment task. Google Scholar you may use a couple of times, but the database in the library is the one that you're going to be using most of all. So use the library catalogue as much as you can. So, okay, now you've got to also evaluate the usefulness and appropriateness of these resources. That's done by using the CRAAP guidelines, which we've talked about in the online seminars, which I'll point you to again before I finish this movie. Please make certain that you take account of and you try and address, when you fill in the table, you try and address at least 3 of those in each particular case. So whether it's currency or relevance or whatever, you make certain you do that. Then you also have to correctly construct and format a short academic reference list. Now, you've probably spoken a little bit about this one in 110 or maybe some of your other ones. In our next seminar, I'm going to speak quite extensively on that one, just to get you up to speed and make sure that you do it as well as I expect it to be done. Some tutors are a little bit different. Some have a bit more latitude, some have less. Some subjects, some other schools and everything else are quite different. And the last one says there, will directly connect your second assignment as you will use these online resources to write a report. I differ a little bit on that one from necessarily using those same resources. Often I've found that people who locate some stuff for this first one find that, oh my gosh, the topic that they've searched for is not really as exciting as they thought it might be. So they want to change. I would strongly suggest that you do change. Okay, now, what does it say in the instructions? It asks you to find, evaluate, and a brief summary of 4 credible resources on a topic about digital literacy. In our seminars, we looked at a couple of movies around digital literacy and looked at some of those things that constitute digital literacy. There's lots more. So you've got to figure out something about digital literacy and what it means to you. And you've been given down here a range of different topics. So social media, but it's got to be social media, a little bit more than social media. So you need to think of social media in terms of social media and adolescents, or social media and older adults. Can older adults use social media? In the times that we're in now with the COVID stuff, we're finding that lots and lots of people are required or beginning to use stuff that they hadn't previously thought of as being useful. So when it suggests social media there, look and add some more things to the term. You may be a social media junkie. You may worry about, whether social media is ruling your life. So that would be a great topic. As I've said in the seminar, if you can identify with a particular topic or facet of a topic, that's going to be far more exciting to research, far more exciting to write about, far more relevant than if you just choose something such as the one that's down the bottom here, the advantages or disadvantages of online learning. As I've said in the seminars, I've read so many online learning advantages or disadvantages that just, yes, it's a little bit over the top. Think about apps in your daily life. One of the things we talked about is, how much screen time you are indulging in, which ones it is, does it really matter? The idea of digital media. We're seeing all sorts of things happening because of this COVID situation where people are putting stuff online. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. But it could be interesting to look at and research how digital media can be used in crisis times, how digital media can be whatever. Learning management systems, yeah. Fear of technology. It's very interesting listening into a couple of you when you've responded to other emails or other things about how you feel about some of these sorts of things. You're not alone. It might be that's a great topic. If you expressly have issues and problems with some, it could be around anything else that you can think of. So it could be connectivity. It could be how we presume stuff about things and that. How do you know whether your topic is good or bad is basically what happens when you start to search. If you start to search and you end up with thousands upon thousands or even tens of thousands of results, chances are your topic is too wide. If you end up, when you go searching, and you should be using advanced search functions for the people who hadn't been in the seminars, then you need to and you only got 2 or 3 things, well, then you need to broaden your topic. Remember, when you're thinking about topics, sometimes you need to use synonyms. So if you're thinking about young adults, terms like adolescents and teenagers are also words that could be searched on too. Yeah, it goes in there about the how you go searching and everything else. Now you've got to use 3 different search things, which I spoke about before, and then you've got to evaluate according to the things. And then the next bit talks about the Harvard referencing system, which we'll talk about later. But it does then say that you've got to use the Word document template, which is in the assignment folder. There is a template there that you download. You click on that one and download it. The template then looks like this. All you need to do is download it, open it up and fill in. Remember to take out the bits that you don't need. Sorry, I'm working on it on the screen here. So don't leave the type your name and student number here. Take that out and do that. You put your reference list, unlike from what we're going to do later, your reference list should normally go to the bottom and on a separate page, but in this particular case you can put it in there, and then you need to fill in each of the little cells in the table there. Just as a by-the-by to make certain that you do that. So it's a single word file. It's got to have that. If you're filling in all the bits and pieces, it'll be fine. And there's the criteria there. Everything else is important. Remember this one down here, spelling, punctuation and grammar. Good idea to get someone else to read it for you before you submit it. Now, just again, some other things, remembering that I have got out there this set of notes there, so you can put this address into your browser. It will come up with this set of notes that you can use. For the people who didn't make the seminars last week, you just come in here and then you click on bits and pieces. So this one here is searching. If you click on search and assessment task 1 here in the table of contents, it'll take you down. And on that particular page, the week 3 page there, if you click on this one here, it will open up another page, which is the Deakin Research Help Library Help page. You can click on there, and down a little bit further is some stuff around searching there and everything. Down a little bit further, there's your CRAP guide. So you click on that one and it opens up and says about currency. Click on it and then you go in here and relevance. So you can see these are the things to look for. Who's the intended audience? Well, if you can say that this particular article, the intended audience is exactly the people I'm after, that's good. Authority has the publish as the author, part of a university, or what's their reason for doing it, or who's the sponsor of this particular stuff. Click on that one, and the accuracy, how accurate it is, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, some other things in there for the people who didn't attend. If you want to know how to use Google Advanced Search, click on that one. If you want to use Google Scholar Advanced Search, you click on that one. There's some other movies from the library. There's my movie there about the library search, and there's another one here, which is another version of CRAP from Deakin too. Here I've got some other information about the assessment task 1, and down here I put in there a sample of an assessment task 1 that is reasonably okay. It's not too bad. Might not be totally full marks, but notice a couple of things there. I've put in details there. I've made certain that all of these things here in the table match up in the same order as the reference list. And down below that, I put in one that's probably not going to pass. Okay, hopefully all of that makes sense. If not, send me an email, and hopefully we'll see you in the seminars this coming week. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye for now.